The 1938 FIFA World Cup, held in France, was a tournament shrouded in political tension and uncertainty. The shadow of World War II loomed large, threatening to engulf Europe and derail the tournament. Yet, amidst the turmoil, football provided a brief respite, a platform for nations to compete and fans to find solace. The 1938 World Cup was the third edition of the tournament. It was the last one held before the outbreak of World War II, which halted international football for 8 years. The tournament saw 15 teams compete, with Austria withdrawing after qualifying due to the Anschluss with Germany. Despite the challenging circumstances, the 1938 World Cup marked several significant milestones in the tournament's history. It was the first time the defending champions, Italy, automatically qualified. It also featured the first penalty shootout in World Cup history, albeit an unofficial one, during a consolation match. The tournament's legacy extends beyond the pitch. It showcased the unifying power of sports, even amidst global unrest. It also highlighted the growing popularity of football as a global phenomenon, captivating audiences worldwide. The year 1938 was a time of great political upheaval and uncertainty. The world was teetering on the brink of monumental change, with the storm clouds of war gathering ominously on the horizon. The Spanish Civil War raged on, with fascist forces led by General Franco gaining ground. The conflict was not just a battle for control of Spain, but a microcosm of the ideological battles that were dividing the world. In Germany, Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime was consolidating power, annexing Austria in March 1938, and escalating persecution of Jews and other minorities. The aggressive expansionist policies of the Nazis were causing alarm across Europe. The world watched with bated breath as tensions rose between the Axis powers and the Allied nations. The fragile peace that had been maintained since the end of World War I was unraveling. The Munich Agreement, signed in September 1938, was a last-ditch attempt to appease Hitler's territorial ambitions. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain famously declared it would bring peace for our time, but many were skeptical. However, it proved to be a temporary reprieve, merely delaying the inevitable outbreak of World War II. The countdown to global conflict had begun, and the world was on edge. Amidst this backdrop of political turmoil, the 1938 World Cup in France offered a brief distraction, a chance for people to momentarily escape the anxieties of the time. Football, a universal language, brought people together even as the world was being torn apart. However, the political realities of the era were impossible to ignore, casting a long shadow over the tournament. The specter of war loomed large, and the games were played under the weight of impending doom. The Austrian team, having qualified for the World Cup, was dissolved following the Anschluss, with some Austrian players forced to join the German national team. This merger was a stark symbol of the political machinations at play. This political interference in the world of football served as a stark reminder of the encroaching darkness that would soon consume Europe. The beautiful game, like the world itself, was not immune to the forces of history. As the world stood on the precipice of war, the 1938 World Cup became a poignant symbol of both the power and the fragility of international unity. It was a fleeting moment of togetherness before the storm. The qualification process for the 1938 World Cup was marked by withdrawals and controversies. A total of 37 teams initially entered the competition, but several withdrew due to various reasons, including financial constraints and political tensions. The most notable withdrawal was that of Austria, who were forced to pull out after being annexed by Germany. This annexation had a direct impact on the tournament, as Austria had qualified for the World Cup as an independent nation. Following Austria's withdrawal, Germany was offered their place in the tournament. However, the offer was declined, casting further suspicion on Germany's motives for annexing Austria. It is speculated that Germany, confident in its footballing prowess, may have feared losing to other nations and tarnishing their image. The qualifying rounds also saw the debut of several nations in the World Cup, including Cuba, the Dutch East Indies, now Indonesia and Poland. These newcomers added to the tournament's global flavor and showcased the growing popularity of football beyond Europe and South America. Section 4. A Tournament of Firsts. The 1938 World Cup was a tournament of many firsts, leaving an indelible mark on the competition's history. Held in France, it was the third edition of the FIFA World Cup, and brought together 15 teams from around the globe, each vying for the prestigious title. It was the first time the defending champions, Italy, were granted automatic qualification, a tradition that continues to this day. This decision was made to honor the champions and ensure their participation, adding an extra layer of excitement and prestige to the tournament. Another notable first was the introduction of seeded teams. This was a groundbreaking move aimed at maintaining a competitive balance throughout the tournament. The four seeded teams, Italy, Hungary, Brazil, and Czechoslovakia, were kept apart in the draw, ensuring a more balanced competition. This seeding system was designed to prevent the strongest teams from facing each other in the early rounds, thus keeping the excitement alive until the later stages. This seeding system aimed to prevent early exits of strong teams and enhance the tournament's overall competitiveness. It was a strategic move that paid off, as it allowed fans to witness high-stakes matches between top teams in the knockout stages. However, perhaps the most peculiar first of the 1938 World Cup was the unofficial penalty shootout that took place during a consolation match between Brazil and Sweden. This match was held to determine the third-place winner, adding an extra layer of drama to the tournament. With the score tied at 2-2 after extra time, the teams agreed to settle the match with a penalty shootout. This was an unprecedented decision at the time, as penalty shootouts were not yet a formal part of the game. Brazil emerged victorious, claiming third place in the tournament. The players' jubilation was a testament to the high stakes and intense competition that characterized the 1938 World Cup. While this penalty shootout was not officially recognized by FIFA, it marked an early experiment with the now iconic method of deciding drawn matches. This moment foreshadowed the future of football, where penalty shootouts would become a standard method for resolving ties in knockout stages. It would be several decades before penalty shootouts were formally adopted by FIFA, but the 1938 World Cup offered a glimpse into the future of football. This tournament, with its many firsts, set the stage for innovations that would shape the beautiful game for generations to come. Section 5. Italy's title defense. Italy, led by the legendary Giuseppe Meazza, entered the tournament as defending champions, aiming to become the first nation to win consecutive World Cup titles. The Azzurri boasted a talented squad, featuring players like Giovanni Ferrari, Silvio Piola, and Gino Colausi. Italy's title defense got off to a shaky start, needing extra time to overcome Norway in the round of 16. However, they found their rhythm in the quarterfinals, defeating hosts France 3-1 in a politically charged encounter. The semi-final against Brazil proved to be a tense affair, with Italy securing a narrow 2-1 victory thanks to a penalty from Meazza and a late goal from Colausi. The final, held at the Stade Olympique de Colombe in Paris, saw Italy face Hungary. In a thrilling match, Italy emerged victorious, winning 4-2 to retain their World Cup crown. Gino Colausi and Silvio Piola each scored twice for Italy, while Pal Titkos and Giorgi Sarosi found the back of the net for Hungary. Section 6. The rise of Brazil. The 1938 World Cup marked the emergence of Brazil as a force to be reckoned with on the international stage. This tournament was a turning point for Brazilian football, setting the stage for the country's future dominance in the sport. Led by the prodigious talent of Leonidas da Silva, Brazil captivated audiences with their attacking flair and individual brilliance. Leonidas, with his exceptional skills, became the face of Brazilian football, embodying the spirit and creativity that would come to define the nation's playing style. Leonidas, nicknamed the Black Diamond, was the tournament's top scorer with 7 goals, showcasing his exceptional dribbling skills, speed, and clinical finishing. His ability to find the back of the net with such consistency made him a standout player and a nightmare for defenders. Despite playing barefoot in some matches, Leonidas terrorized defenses, becoming a global football icon. His barefoot performances added to his legend, demonstrating his raw talent and determination to succeed, regardless of the circumstances. Brazil's journey in the tournament began with a hard-fought 6-5 victory over Poland after extra time, a match that saw Leonidas score a hat-trick. This thrilling encounter set the tone for Brazil's campaign, highlighting their resilience and attacking prowess. In the quarterfinals, they faced Czechoslovakia, with the match ending in a 1-1 draw after extra time. The game was a test of endurance and skill, with both teams showcasing their tactical acumen and fighting spirit. A replay was required, and Brazil emerged victorious, winning 2-1, with Leonidas scoring the decisive goal. This victory was a testament to Brazil's determination and ability to perform under pressure, further solidifying their reputation on the world stage. In the semi-finals, they faced defending champions Italy, ultimately losing a closely contested match 2-1. Despite the loss, Brazil's performance against the reigning champions was commendable, showcasing their potential to compete with the best. Despite falling short of the final, Brazil's performance in the 1938 World Cup announced their arrival as a major footballing power. Their journey through the tournament was marked by memorable moments and impressive displays of skill and teamwork. Their attacking style of play, coupled with the emergence of Leonidas, left a lasting impression on the tournament and captured the imagination of fans worldwide. The 1938 World Cup was just the beginning for Brazil, setting the foundation for their future successes and establishing them as a footballing powerhouse.